Good Thursday morning. I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. For the next 15 minutes or so, we're going to be taking a look at the weather here in southeast Texas. Nice, hot and dry day today. We do see some rain coming in for the weekend. And then next week, finally, a little bit of a cool down, especially in the morning hours, as we're expecting 60s all across southeast Texas. So looking pretty good next week. And today, tomorrow doesn't look too bad. We at least don't have to deal with much in the way of any rain. It's just going to be kind of hot and humid out there. And then we'll talk more about that rain coming up over the weekend in just a little bit. Of course, we're going to take a look at the tropics for this morning. There's one thing that the Hurricane Center continues to track there, and we'll go over that here in just a minute or two. But first, let's see what the rest of the day forecast shows us. And just hot and dry, temperatures around 93, 94 today, and then we'll back off into the upper 80s by 6 o'clock as we head towards 10 o'clock. We're still trying to hold on to about 80 degrees, but we'll drop back into the 70s going into your Friday morning. So this afternoon, just maybe you want to stay hydrated if you're going to be out and about working outside. Make sure you take some breaks from time to time with the heat out there. Humidity is not that bad today, so the heat index close to 100, but we're not talking about 108 to 110 in the dangerous range, but upper 90s, we're close to 100. So still, you want to take care of yourself out in the heat. Allergy report has really kind of jumped up today. We're now at heavy on weed and mold. Grass is at medium, and even showing a little bit of tree out there for today. So if you're sniffing and sneezing, you're really bad with allergies, you'll probably notice a difference out there today as opposed to the last couple of days where it wasn't so high. It was a little bit farther down. Let's take a look at what we can see outside with our Roofing 911 live sky cams. We'll first start off over in Lake Charles, where we have partly cloudy skies out there for this morning. But it still looks nice. There's the port of Lake Charles in the foreground, and in the background there behind the lake, we're looking at Lake Charles itself on this Thursday morning. Not looking too bad there. Other places around southeast Texas, basically the same type of sky. We're seeing just partly cloudy skies here and there across the area, except for up towards Jasper. We've been seeing actually more in the way of some blue skies. Just a few clouds we've been seeing up in Jasper, and that's what we're seeing right now as we look at the Jasper County Courthouse. This camera brought to you by Provalis, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam Network. And yeah, a little bit clearer skies up in Jasper as opposed to down here around the triangle. We have a little bit more moisture in the atmosphere, so we're seeing a little bit more cloud cover. But all in all, not looking bad out there. Like I said, though, temperatures already around 90 right now. And we're going to be pushing up probably another 3 or 4 degrees this afternoon, around 93, 94 throughout the area. And it's going to be hot. Don't make any mistake about it. We're still only into early September. Take you over to Orange with the Horseman's Western Store camera. Currently showing 91 there. Humidity, see, not too bad, 59%. We could very easily be in the upper 60s and lower 70s as far as percentage of humidity at this time of year. So I'll take 59. I wish it was more like 39, but 59 is not bad. And we're seeing a little bit of a northwesterly wind, a westerly wind over there into Orange, anywhere from about 5 to 15 miles per hour. So a little bit of a breeze here and there. Partly cloudy, but those clouds definitely not producing any rain anytime soon, as we're just seeing a few little puffy cumulus clouds there over Interstate 10 in Orange. And even less cloud cover as you come over here towards Beaumont. Packer the Prairie camera downtown, currently showing 88 degrees, humidity at 53%, so that's a little bit better than that 59, and we're seeing a west wind at about 5 miles per hour. So not looking bad down there towards the port of Beaumont. And like I said, we'll go with mostly sunny skies today, just a few clouds here and there. Temperature at 92 officially in Orange, 88 here in Beaumont, 89 in Port Arthur, 88 through Silsbee, also Kirbyville and Woodville. And then Jasper currently showing a temperature of about 86. Over towards Houston, they're about where we are, 87. Conroe's at 87. Lake Charles, we saw the camera from there. They're currently at about 87 degrees as well. Radar not showing much, but just a bunch of ground clutter from around the radar. Now, there have been a few showers out in the Gulf earlier this morning. There continues to be a few, but they're well to our east and south. And it's dry over southeast Texas, but all this green you see around the radar is just some clutter to the radar as they have the sensitivity turned up a little bit, and so you can see all the little things kind of around the radar there. All right, take a look at what's going on across the state, and it's pretty quiet. Lots of sunshine across the state, a few clouds towards El Paso, and we've had those few showers kind of kick off along the coastline, but that's been about it. Well, I am watching this cold front. This is the front that's going to bring us some rain as we head towards your weekend. Not so much on Saturday, maybe a few showers on Saturday, but as this comes overhead and goes through on Sunday, we're going with about a 50% coverage of some rain and thunderstorms. And that 50% might be a little high this morning. When I was looking at the computer models, it was actually showing maybe a little bit less than that, but I'm going to go ahead and keep that 50% in case we do see a little bit of a surge of moisture before the front gets here and kick up a little bit more than the computer models are showing right now. But the front's well up towards our north now, up towards the Red River Valley, the Texas Panhandle, and that'll be marching down into southeast Texas here as we head towards your weekend. Let's check the rest of the country and see what's going on. Like I said, nice and quiet across the state of Texas, but you get just over into, say, Arizona, New Mexico, some of that monsoonal moisture coming up into parts of southern Arizona and parts of southern New Mexico. So they're getting a little bit of rain today, much needed rain. They'll be happy to see that. West Coast is dry, not much going on. Rocky Mountain states also dry for this morning, not much going on there. Have some more showers coming into parts of the Dakotas and into northern Minnesota for this morning. A cold front bringing in some showers and a few thunderstorms all the way from, say, northern Tennessee up into Canada. Looks like some severe weather popping up right now. Extreme northeastern corner there of Tennessee. Just now starting to see some thunderstorms there. Deep south, Atlanta looking good, Montgomery looking good, Jackson looking good, Florida seeing a few showers out there for today. So some parts of the country nice and dry, other parts seeing some showers and thunderstorms. Like I said, luckily for us, it's been a quiet morning and should be a quiet afternoon. Here's our futurecast, and it takes us up into the lower to middle 90s through the afternoon. I think we'll be a couple of degrees, maybe even above these numbers. And then as we get into the evening, still around 6 o'clock, we'll be around 90. Then we'll fall back into the 80s through most of your evening. By 10 o'clock, we could see some upper 70s and then fall back into the middle to lower 70s going into tomorrow morning. Partly cloudy skies overnight. We'll see a few more clouds kind of creep in here. And then as we get into tomorrow, we'll go partly cloudy to mostly cloudy during the day. And we'll see highs right there into the lower 90s for afternoon highs tomorrow. But nothing as far as any rain tomorrow. And looks like tomorrow night should also be dry. That front's going to be coming in late on Saturday, so that's when we'll start to see chances start to increase a little bit. All right, let's take a look out into the Atlantic. Last few days, we've only been tracking one thing, and that's this wave that's moving across the Atlantic. You can see maybe a little bit better organized for today. I got that red X over there, but a little bit better organized, and the Hurricane Center thinks this will become better organized and actually become maybe a tropical system. They're going 50% chance of development over the next 48 hours and then a good 80% chance of development over the next 7 days. Now the track of this is still up in the air, of course. It hasn't developed at all, but right now computer models want to take it north of the Caribbean and then turn it back out into the Atlantic and keep it away from the East Coast. There are a couple of models though that want to take it a little bit closer to the East Coast than others, so that is still a possibility. As far as getting into the Gulf, none of the computer models show a storm, a tropical system working into the Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico, how you want to say it, whichever you prefer, anytime soon. So we'll watch this, but I don't think it's going to be a big concern for the Gulf. Our next 7 to 10 days look quiet, which is great news because typically this is the peak of hurricane season around the 10th and 11th every year. We see our most activity around this time when we could typically see 2 or 3 different storm systems out there that we're going to be watching. Luckily right now we only have that one that we're watching. Hopefully it'll stay very quiet like this all the way through September, because once you get to October and things keep quiet, usually October is not a very active month. Even though I've seen a few tropical systems in the month of October, typically once we get into late September, October, things start to really quiet down out there into the Atlantic and the Gulf and Caribbean. Our coastal marine forecast for today calling for no advisories. A southwesterly wind at 5 to 10 knots. Seas only about a foot for this afternoon along the coast. High tide, we had one earlier this morning, 3:44, a very early one. And then we have one that we're just really having high tide right now, 11:35. So, and that's AM. So our sunrise is 6:55, our sunset's 7:34. Days are getting shorter now. And we're looking at a little bit of a west-southwesterly wind at 13 miles an hour. Right off Texas Point with gusts to about 16. Water temperature there in the upper 80s for the Gulf, and partly cloudy skies for today, if not mostly sunny. So we'll go mostly sunny throughout the area. No rain expected. We'll see southwesterly winds between 3 and 8 miles per hour. Look for numbers anywhere from around 93 to 94 towards the lakes, and 94, maybe 95 in a few spots here around the triangle. Near the coast, we'll see temperatures right at about 90 or so. And then for tonight, we'll back off into the middle to lower 70s. Just partly cloudy skies, a little bit of a south wind at 2 to 7. Of course, no rain for tonight. And we'll see 75 or so around the triangle, back all the way down to the lower 70s up towards Jasper, say Kirbyville, Newton, Burkeville. But I think we'll stay just above those 60s that we saw this morning. Our 7-day forecast calling for a hot day today, 94, tomorrow 93. You notice lows in the 70s. And then as we get into Saturday, we're looking at a 20% chance of a couple of showers. That's going to be very late in the day on Saturday. Maybe a couple of showers as the front starts to approach, and then as it goes through on Sunday, we're looking at about a 50% coverage of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Don't think it's going to be a washout on Sunday, but there will be periods of the day where it could get a little wet at your house. Not going to be an all-day rain either. It's going to be scattered stuff coming in. Now you notice temperatures go from 92 on Saturday down to 88 on Sunday. Those morning lows not quite that cool yet. And then as we get into next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, that's when we start to feel those cooler mornings. We're looking at 69 on Monday morning, 66 on Tuesday. That means the lakes area could be dipping down to maybe, what, 62, 63 degrees, and then still some 60s on Wednesday at about 68. And temperatures there into the middle 80s on Monday, upper 80s, close to 90 on Tuesday, and back around 90 on Wednesday. So looking good behind this front. This will be official kind of a cool front, a cold front that comes in. And hopefully we get a couple more of these in the month of September and start that downward trend of our temperatures getting out of the 90s and back into the 80s and eventually, hopefully, the 70s. Our typical high by the end of September is 87, and our average high right now is about 92. So we're going to slowly start to cool things down as days start to get shorter here in southeast Texas. I want to put up a phone number if you're just watching our stream for the first time. This number is a number that you can text us at if you have any weather questions. We're not on the air, and you have a question about maybe an event that's going on during the week, or maybe something in the next week or two out, and you're trying to figure out how to make plans for some outdoor activities going into, say, next weekend or something like that, or want to know what the latest is on the tropics. You can text us at this number, 409-749-9302. And it's a phone that you text to, of course, and we'll check it periodically, and we'll try to get back to you as quick as we can. Do not call the phone because we don't answer the phone. It's been, they've fixed it so we literally don't get any phone calls on it, but we can get text messages. So, like I said, write that number down. If you ever have a question, you can always text us to that number, and make sure that everything is A-OK. All right, let's take a look back at our sky cams. And once again, some places across southeast Texas getting a few more clouds than other places, but overall, looks like it's going to be a dry forecast out there for this afternoon. We wait for this weekend before we start to see some rain. We're going to get ready and wrap this stream up. We do it every day between 11:30 and 11:45, Monday through Friday, and in the evenings, we do another weather stream at about 6:30 to 6:45. Typically, I'll do it, Carrie, Cooper, and I will do it in the mornings, and Patrick will do it in the evenings. I believe this evening, though, since I worked the midday show, Carrie is going to be doing it tonight at 6:30 to 6:45. Give you the latest on the tropics. We'll give you the latest on the 7-day forecast and just generally what's going on weather-wise across southeast Texas. It's going to be a hot afternoon. We're talking about some lower to middle 90s. Please take care if you're going to be out and about. Stay safe. I will talk to you tomorrow.